Hi. Well, Alvin Brown has been elected the first African-American mayor of Jacksonville in the closest election in Jacksonville history. I'd like to take a moment to talk about my role in the campaigns through my YouTube videos and talk about the future. I started the left turn on January the 1st, 2011. Uh, as more of an experiment. I didn't know where the channel would lead, how long I would fool around with it, and here I am on May the 20th, uh, still going on. I've enjoyed the opportunity to communicate and talk about my views of the politics of the city. And starting in late January, I began talking about the election, and I did individual profiles. And I keep an eye on the numbers of the views, and I found that my first profile of the mayoral candidates, the one for Mr. Brown, was had picked up over the past week or so. And it had been rather, the views had been rather static, of course. There were the initial views when I first put it out there. And I started seeing the ones for the videos I did for Mike Hogan and Alvin Brown. Saw those start to pick up. So sometimes with YouTube, when you upload a video and you don't see a huge response within the first day or two, wait a week or two, a couple weeks down the road, and you may be surprised at what you see. I'm amazed that there are videos that I've uploaded on different topics that are really, that weeks and months later are really picking up steam in views. And it's great. YouTube is great because I have the ability to reach out to people on a small scale. In a city of 700, 800,000 people, 200 or 300 people looking collectively at your videos about the election, may not be a big, huge impact, but it's been fun, and I look forward to going forward with more political analysis, with some more ideas, with more challenges to the status quo. It's been a rather fascinating journey for me because my involvement in politics has been somewhat limited, even though I have a poli-sci degree from Florida State and a public administration degree from Florida State. I haven't gotten as deeply involved in politics as I had at one point envisioned. A lot of it because I'm just not really into fundraising. I'm more of a cerebral person. So, and to get into politics, you have to make the kinds of sacrifices and the kinds of decisions and that I wouldn't care to make in my own life. But I've had some interesting opportunities over the years. I met Bob Dole when he was running for president in 1996 out of Florida State. I worked in the early 90s on a school board campaign briefly. I enjoy talking about politics, and YouTube has enabled me to kind of reach out there and give you my message. Whether you like it or you don't, whether you press the like button or the dislike button, and for all of those hundreds of people out there who haven't subscribed, it's fun, and life is what you make it. I think that in a campaign, that when the election finally happens, there was a difference of maybe only 1,700 votes. I sometimes think that maybe 200, 300 impacts that I had, whether positive or negative, was a healthy impact on the election in my own micro world. we all look at things through our own prism, and I think leadership sometimes is not necessarily elected office or appointed office or being a lawyer or being a doctor or being a rich businessman. I think it's reaching out to people and showing them your perspective on life and challenging some assumptions. And what a long, strange trip it's been the past 5 months. I did each of those profiles, and the one the one I did of Mayor-elect Brown now is it's enshrined in history and all the amateur glory. The lighting is horrible. I'm reading I'm reading off my little script. I'm telling you, it truly has been a learning experience. And for those of you who've endured and continue to endure these videos of weirdness and of just amateur hour. It truly is the gong show of YouTube, and I thank you for those of you out there who have watched and who stumble upon this and may have seen one of my videos. It's hilarious, and so now I have probably the most worst produced video that I've ever done on YouTube is my highest viewed video. Because sometimes you can't plan, and it was the first profile, and my second profile was Mr. Hogan, and I rolled through on I did every single one of the candidates. I did Steve Irvin, I did Warren Lee, I did Audrey Moran, I did Rick Mullaney, and then I settled in my endorsement on Audrey Moran, and then when she didn't win, I later on in one of my more general topic Jacksonville politics videos endorsed Alvin Brown. And the concept of the endorsement, that's what I like, because you always hear about endorsements. Well, Jake Godbold endorsed Mike Hogan. Ooh, so-and-so endorsed so-and-so. The organization of Jacksonville, plumbing fitters and car maintenance people have endorse so-and-so, and that's just a joke on obscure organizations endorsing people, but it's hilarious, and I think the concept of someone as trivial and as me can do it and do it with some fun, and I now look forward to the future and where things go from here. It's been an interesting election. The city sorted out the different candidates, and I think the big challenge with the mayor-elect is going to be the city council. City council's a rather remarkable group of people, and I don't use remarkable in a positive word as a positive word. It's going to be a tough struggle, but I think that he has some vision, and I think that Jacksonville can go through to the next level. And I'll be there for as long as I plan to be. I've set up a channel called The Jack's Life, which I'll be bringing up on around July the 4th. I don't know if it will be on July the 4th or earlier or later than that, but that's my target date. And it's going to be more of a lighthearted. And if you see some of my videos, you'll laugh at the word lighthearted, because a lot of my videos aren't lighthearted. They aren't for the faint-hearted. If you've, it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna really try to do some different things on YouTube. And if I never build a following and I stick with the 2 subscribers I have now into the next 10, 15 years, so what? It's out there, and I'm kind of having an impact out there in search engine land, at least so far as the media is what it is. But I guess I have a sense of the absurdity of politics and of life, and I'm enjoying it. And by all means, if you see any of my videos and you want to go through and react, comment, please feel free to. Um, so I guess I come back to, where do I go from here? Well, the mayor takes office in July, and all the big decisions for the year will start coming through the late summer, early fall. So I'm going to be a little bit more attuned than I normally would be to city politics. I may start, I wouldn't say regularly watching, but I may start being on to, watching some of these city council meetings and being a little bit more tuned in to some of the developments that are happening. And of course, there are always the developments that happen in my life. For example, the roads that are deteriorating, that I have to drive my car over every day, the taxes that I'm asked to pay. Rick Scott, there's a guy who's, he's the gift that keeps on giving. Education cuts, but then again, I don't know. Do kids need to have publicly funded lacrosse? There are some things that are the realm of the private sector. And I think out there is demand for kids that want to play lacrosse. Football's a little bit different, but there are some sports out there that, if you want to do sports, I think at that point it becomes more of a get out there and do it, learn it. But, when I pay my school taxes every year, I really hope that what we're getting is truly an educated workforce. And I don't know. Are the right decisions being made? Well, there's another video right there. So it's going to be interesting to see what the next couple of years brings. What will Rick Scott do next? And then what will the Jacksonville City Council do? I did a video on Kimberly Daniels. And I wasn't exactly a fan of her candidacy based on some video I saw and some of the spectacle. And the only Republican really I voted for was her opponent. Well, except the one where I didn't have a choice in the tax collector's race. But it's going to be interesting. The city council meetings are going to be very interesting. If you ever catch them every once in a while, I like the public comment period. I love the public comment period. Wow. And those are always fun. If you're ever looking for a laugh, if you really are just needing to pick me up, watch a Jacksonville City Council public comment meeting, portion of the meeting. It's hilarious. But so here I am, just spouting off nonsense out there into YouTube, Google land. But I'm really wanting to take my channels to the next level. I think a lot of my videos will remain on the left turn. So I try not to get too highbrow, but I try not to get too lowbrow. So I'm not going to throw a lot of statistics at you, and I'm not going to be Mr. Rogers or was it Bill Nye, the science guy. We're not going to get real technical here, but I'm also not going to get too goofy. Hey, after all, it's the public realm. You're just having me in your living room on your computer monitor for a couple minutes. So I'll behave accordingly. But I'll leave you with this. I haven't ever mentioned this. I always kind of hope that someone would ask, but we're 5 months in, so I'll tell you. Yeah, for those of you out there who want to know what on earth the left turn is, when I moved back up here, after when I lived out in Tallahassee and I lived down in Orlando, and I moved back up here, I was talking with my friend, and my friend said, you have to make a lot of left turns here in Jacksonville. I said, yeah, where I live, you have to make a lot of left-hand turns. Everywhere I'm going, I seem to be making a left-hand turn. I said, for a city that's so far right, I seem to have to make a lot of left turns. And being that I'm somewhat of a moderate to liberal Democrat who's got a decent head on his shoulders, who won't just blindly vote for the Democrat, in every single race, I decided to name the channel The Left Turn. And it looks like on May 17th, 2011, when we're surrounded by the Tea Party, when we look at a president who kind of basically decided to be a pragmatic moderate and kind of stepped away from the way he ran on the progressivism that he promoted in his campaign. In a realm of high gas prices and education cuts and shouts of Armageddon on the 21st of May, the city of Jacksonville was relatively sensible. Jacksonville's a complicated city sometimes. It's not always a stereotype. Jacksonville's changing. Florida's changing. And the changes will take on more and more impact onto the population in the next couple of years. Be they good, and there'll be a mixture of good and bad. So I'll be there as long as I feel like it. But I think I'm going to be here for a couple of years, assuming that the medium doesn't completely devolve. All right, well, thanks for watching. See you later.